My name is Sherilyn Dorsey, and I am creator and founder of You're More Than Their Mother, and I teach moms and women to reclaim, realign, and rebalance their lives and to go after their dreams. So today, I am talking about pathology. And pathology is simply a pattern that's being repeated, right? And I want to talk about pathology in the way it is that really two ways. In the way it is that we exist in this world and the way it is that we are raising or have raised our children. It's so huge. It's just so huge, and it can change. Once you get a hold of this and recognize and tell the truth about this, I just believe that your life will change for the better exponentially. When you look back, and I want to give just kind of the quick version of it, and tell me in the comments if you want to talk more about this, but I don't want to keep you long. This isn't a mentoring session or anything like that. This is just about me sharing and bringing some things perhaps to your awareness or giving you something to consider. When you think about the way it is, the relationship it is, number one, that you have with yourself, how do you feel about you, right? Do you love you? Do you have self-worth? Do you value you? And I know that theoretically, a lot of times we would say immediately, yes, right? I love me. I do. I love me, beyond anything it is that I can describe or imagine or things like that. But what I would really invite you to do is examine how it is that you are treating yourself. To examine the self-chatter it is that you are speaking in your own head about yourself the majority of the time. And then answer your question. Are you affirming yourself? Are you a positive person? Are you a person who can see something negative and know how to turn it into the positive, in particular when it comes to you? If you say didn't reach a goal, if you have something it is that you want and are striving for, if you have missed the mark on something it is or failed yourself in something it is that you want to do or are going after, what is the chatter it is that you have with yourself? And then the next thing I want you to think about externally when it comes to yourself, think about the way it is that you treat yourself, the way it is that you talk about yourself aloud, right? And when I say that, I want to give you an example. So I was listening to someone, and when they talk about themselves, they always used to say, I'm hoping that doesn't look too bad on me, or I don't want to look like a fool, or girl, I'm just silly because please, girl, that was dumb of me. And while to many people that may be something simple like, girl, they're just talking about, if they had on a crazy hat, they would look silly or whatever it is. But what I know for sure, and I know if you've been following me for a while, you've heard me say this many times, what I know for sure is that how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're saying I look silly or I'm a fool or dumb or whatever the case may be, that is what it is that you're feeling about yourself. And that's a reduced feeling. That is not holding yourself in highest esteem, because those simple and same statements could be the same effective if you said, I'm going to put myself together because I like looking the way it is that I want to look. You can say to yourself in those same sentiments of, wow, it looks like I have a lot to learn versus, goodness, that was dumb of me, or whatever the case may be. You can absolutely change what could be perceived as a negative into a positive about yourself. And if your default is something that is not affirming of you, then I would say to you that there is some work that needs to be done, some self-work and some self-worth work that needs to be done on you. Now, while those are what I would consider small examples, they contribute to a larger problem, and that is a lack of self-worth. So when you have that going on, even in your underpinning, you have that going on, that's how you end up treating other people. In this situation, I'm talking about the way that it is that you may be or may have raised your child. Because this page is You're More Than Their Mother. It always loops back around to you and you being a mom, right? And how it is that we can be better. So when you have these things going on with yourself, you push them off on other people, and usually the ones closest to you. And the closest thing to you in many, many instances is your child, right? Proximity-wise, at bare minimum. And so we end up putting off on them these behaviors, these beliefs, these actions. We put out these poor actions on them because we aren't whole ourselves. We have a self-worth thing going on. And here's the truth. What you have going on is absolutely a result of what it is that happened to you. The same way that your mom is a result of things that happened to them, right? All of that stuff is linked. But here's what I want you to understand really quickly. Hey there, who is that joining me? Say hey there. What I want you to understand is that, well, two things. One, that you recognizing this, you saying this, right? Saying, you know what? I got this from my mom, or I'm this way because this is a learned behavior. That does not mean you love your mom any less. That does not mean that your allegiance has diminished for your mom. But you have to, and I'm just using mom. I know many instances people were raised by different people, but for this example, we're using mom. So insert whatever person it is that raised you. But just because you say that about your mom, it's two things. Number one, it doesn't mean it's bad. And number two, it doesn't mean that you love them any less, right? And it doesn't mean that they owe you anything, because their intention and what they believe could be totally different than the experience it is that you had of them, right? Could be totally different, and they could be none the wiser, right? And so, or they may not be willing to admit it, or they may not even be here anymore to be able to recognize that. So it's not about you placing any blame to relieve yourself, right? It's not about you wanting something, some apology, or them to make amends with you because of something it is that you believe that they did to you. It's not about that at all. It's really about you, and really about recognizing what it is that's going on with you so that you can do your work or do the things that are necessary to help you. Because if you're on this page, certainly a member of this page is highly likely, and we're broadcasting from my business page live here, it's highly likely that you're a mom right now. So what that means is it's highly likely that you're going to pass that on to your child. And so we want to pass off good behaviors, right? We want to pass off things that we deem most positive, right? Because we deem it that way, not because our parents did, not because someone told us that. We are adults now, so it is our responsibility. So as you are revealing these things that are part of your pathology, and you have to admit what may be some hard truths to you of where you got some of your habits and some of your functions, I want you to understand, hey there, thanks for the heart. Oh, that's Kelly. Hey, Kelly. Hey. I want you to understand that while you're recognizing these things, this is your work. You are an adult now, and you get to make these decisions. So it is time for you to decide to go and get the help it is that you need, whatever that helps look like, right? Whatever that help looks like. Perhaps it's a conversation with your parent or the person that raised you, right? Maybe that will help you and kind of give you a turn in the right direction or direction you're looking to go in. Perhaps you need some counseling, right? Perhaps you need to link up with someone and talk to someone outside of you. But whatever it is, what you can't do and what is futile is to try and hold your mother hostage to what it is that she did to you, because that time is gone. That time is gone. And for you to recognize it and to not do anything about it and just stay mad, it is synonymous with you holding yourself hostage. Because at this point, you know that there's something that you want to change or want to do differently, but you aren't doing the work to do it. So the thing it is that you're angry about with her, you're actually angry with yourself about. Right? All righty. So, all right. So let me leave it right there. Give me your thoughts. Oh, I see Kelly said very true. Oh, yeah, it's very, very true. And the goal is freedom. The goal is freedom. And I'm telling you, when you are free of roles and expectations of other people, assigning them roles and expectations, it's a freedom like no other. It's a freedom like no other, because you understand that this life is you have agency over your own life, and that the past is the past, and you're willing to invest in you, be it time, money, resources, whatever it is that looks like. You're willing to invest in you to be better because no one owes you anything. And I have a secret to tell you. Even your parent, they don't owe you anything. They're just doing the best they could. And we're grateful they kept us, because we've heard of stories where parents didn't keep them, right? Keep their children for whatever reason. So you had the opportunity to be raised with someone who thought that they could do a good job. And it's highly likely that they believe that they did a good job. And at bare minimum, we know they did the best they could with what it is that they knew in the moment. And that's enough. That's enough. So now that you know some things, what will you do with it? It is your responsibility. This is your work. Not your parents, not whomever it is that raised you. So I can't wait to hear from you in the comments. Tell me your thoughts behind this. Share with me and share this video. Invite them over to like our page. You're more than their mother. And let's keep this conversation going, because I think that first of all, I think it's so powerful when women come together and talk. Because I believe, as a communicator, as a professional communicator, I just believe that communication is the caveat to everything. It is the thing that can build up. It is the thing that can destroy. It is the thing that can comfort. It is the thing that can build a bridge. It is the one thing that if we did more of, I believe we would have more of the peace it is that we seek within ourselves and really within the world. Yeah, so I look forward to hearing from you. Please do share this video with your comments, and I am super excited to hear from you. Kelly, let's see here. I'm pulling up at a light. I often find that I don't understand. So I sit down and figure out if it's something I believe in or agree with. I'm driving now, so I want to be safe here. But yes, Kelly, I can't wait to read your comment and feedback, engage with you from there. But what I did read there is you said sometimes you often find that you do things that you don't understand. Listen, I understand that so much of what we do has been passed down. It's not necessarily what we believe or what we know to have outcomes that we don't desire, so we change it or do it, right? But we're doing it literally because it's passed down. It's part of a pathology. But we have to break the cycle. We have to break the cycle. And that doesn't mean that it has to be all bad or something that is bad. You can change it because you know something different. You have knowledge of something different, and you want to have a different experience, and you want your child to have a different experience. You can do that. We're adults now, right? So I can't wait. I can't wait to read your comment, Kelly, and keep engaging. I love it so much. Love when I see you on here. Thank you for always supporting and always sharing. I appreciate that. I definitely see you hitting that share button and on your page and all of that and shouting me out. So I appreciate that so much. So please do share this one. Alrighty, you all. Let me get in here to my girls' volleyball game and make it happen. I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate your feedback in whatever different ways that it comes. And I will talk to you next time. But until we see each other again, remember, it's time to move beyond everyone else's expectations of who you ought to be and become the woman you thought that you could be. Bye.